Hey, what is up? My name is Rubidium. Today we're looking at the C200 and some of the things that I didn't know that you could do when I got it, and I found out since. And for the sheer value of clickbait, I'm calling them C200 secrets. So there are three main things that I didn't know that I could do when I got this camera, and now that I know that I can do them, I'm very happy about it. Because they've changed my workflow. They've helped me shoot with the camera in the way that I wanted to. The first one is the Wi-Fi app. You can generate a Wi-Fi network with the camera that will then allow you to control core parts of the camera and the exposure through any device that has a web browser. So for instance, my iPad here can show an image of what I'm shooting. It can set the exposure, it can trigger and stop record. It also has touch focus. So I can use the iPad to turn face detection off. I can click the screen and rack focus to different parts of the image that I want to focus on. Like my head, or the iPad, or the background. Which is really cool when you think about it. I have the C200B and I use the Blackmagic 7-inch video assist monitor, which doesn't have which can't use the touch focus of the camera, but with any iPad or even iPhone, I can press to select rack focus between different objects, and basically adds a whole different layer of functionality to the camera and to the workflow. In case anyone gets funny ideas on set, you can lock access to the camera, set different privileges for different people with different addresses so that everyone can watch the image and not everyone can, cut the camera. But you couldn't really pull focus from it. As you see here, it's sort of, it's like 5 frames a second or 3 frames a second. It's certainly not good enough to monitor the camera from, but it does give you a great idea of what image you're getting. Number 2, dual outputs. So the camera can output in both SDI and HDMI, but not at the same time. I've made a couple of videos about this and how I think it's sort of a shortfall of the camera, but one thing I did work out how to do is when I'm using two cameras, two C200s, or my main camera, the C200B, and my secondary camera, the 5D Mark III, I can run the C200 through SDI into a monitor and the 5D through HDMI into the monitor. Say I'm doing an interview setup, which I do a lot, have them both go into the same camera and then sort of switch between the two displays on a monitor that's in front of me, and I can monitor both cameras off one display simultaneously. That is a huge time saver. It saves me bringing an extra monitor, saves me sort of like getting the shot I want on one camera and then running back behind another camera to see what it's shooting. Huge time saver and really smart way of working. The third thing I found out how to do on this camera is to use timecode. The camera has timecode, but it does not have timecode in. You can't jam timecode, which means you can't synchronize this unit with a mixer or a sound recorder device so that they're always in sync. It has no way of inputting your timecode. But there is this wonderful little device that I found online, which is sort of like a clock. It works by having two units, one that's attached to the audio recorder mixer, one that's attached to the camera and feeds in through the audio channel. Since this camera has 4 audio channels, you can use 2 of them as a stereo scratch or 2 of them as an onboard audio, and then through through one of the other audio channels, you can input this unit, and it will give you essentially an accurate time code and a connection with the mixer. They're the 3 things that I learned about this camera. I didn't know when I bought it, and have been super useful to me and changed the way I work. Hopefully someone got something out of it, and see you next time.